Hello, everyone, and welcome to Armstrong in the Loop podcast. I'm your host, Seth Prentice. And today I'm joined by Dale Thompson and Sean Leopardi of the Elwood City Chamber of Commerce. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is great. I appreciate you doing this, Seth.
Hey, I greatly appreciate the two of you coming on here. It's been such a long time since I've had the opportunity to talk with the Elwood City Chamber. I know some things have changed. We have some new people involved. And I thought, what a great idea to get the two of you on here. Exciting things are getting ready to happen with the chamber. And I know summer is going to be here before we know it. So let's get into it. First thing I'd love to do is, Dale, can you please introduce yourself? And since you're the new executive director of the chamber, give a little background for those listening that might not know who you are.
Sure thing, Seth. Thanks again for having me. I came on to the chamber probably at the worst time possible in late August of 2020, right in the middle of a pandemic. There hadn't really anybody been in the office since May of 2020. Well, really, probably earlier than that, but actually not in the position. Prior to coming here, I was 15 years at Shakespeare's Restaurant and Pub, which is the restaurant, banquet facility, pub at Old Stonewall Golf Club. I was the general manager there. Prior to that, I've been in several different hotels, restaurants for about 25 years. And believe it or not, before all that, I was a social worker. My degree is in social work from Ohio University, and my master's is in business accounting from Ohio State University. So it was a big change, and this is even a bigger change. So I've kind of came on as the new guy on the block in August. I have been, though, I have to say, while I was at Shakespeare's, I was on the board of the Elwood City Chamber of Commerce for the past 12 years as well. So it's not like the chamber is new to me, but the position is surely new to me.
And that has to help too, right? Because you already have a good foundation coming into this role of, I know what the chamber is, I know most of the members. I've worked in this community for 15 plus years. So I truly have a great building block rather than starting new and having to learn everything from the ground up.
Correct. It has definitely made it a little bit easier knowing. I did know most of the board members already because there are a lot that have been on for quite a while. I have to be honest with you. At Shakespeare's, when you're running around a restaurant for 60 hours a week, you don't get out in the community as much as I probably thought I was getting out. And I kind of stayed. I always tell everybody my biggest probably problem that I'm having is I stayed on that side of the 4-lane too much, where Shakespeare's is. I didn't get on this side of the 4-lane, which is where downtown is and all of that. I could have done better at that. But, I do know a lot of the businesses. Many of them use the restaurant. So I do have a relationship with a lot of the members that are already here, which definitely helps, makes it a lot easier.
No, I can imagine so. And, before we get into the rest of the questions, I just want to wish you the best of luck in this role as, the Elwood City Chamber needs leadership. And I'm glad you're there to steer the ship.
Well, I need it. Thanks.
Well, 2020 canceled many, if not all, events for the year. But from the time you took over, Dale, as executive director, were able to pull off a few small events before the end of 2020. What did that mean for the chamber?
Well, I think there was a real time warp there where the chamber was not in front of the public at all. We didn't have any presence at all. Our social media was kind of shut down for a while. And I think, fortunately, even though it was pretty awful when it happened, when I canceled the Halloween parade, I got such terrible feedback that I was like, this is not going to happen the rest of this year. We have to do something to bring the people back into Elwood City to make them feel good about what's going on in town. We can't let the pandemic define us and control us any longer. We've got to do something. So with your help, actually, the 5K, the Ugly Sweater 5K came into play, which turned out to be a great event. We had over 60 runners, virtually, of course, but I think it was a great start to put the chamber back into the eyes of the public. And then I had a meeting with the board and said, listen, guys, I'm not canceling the Christmas parade. You have to think outside the box, and we've got to come up with some kind of an idea, something to do for Christmas, for the holidays. So fortunately, they came up with a great idea. We did the Reindeer Route, where we kind of did a caravan, and honestly had no idea what to expect. Put some great ideas together, and the night of, put the entire town of Elwood City in gridlock. At one point, the police came up to me and said, please, you've got to stop these cars, make them go to the park without going through the town, because we're in complete gridlock. We had almost 400 cars that night, which turned out to be great. So I think that was the greatest part of us being able to put at least a couple of little events together just to finish out 2020.
And have you noticed that carrying over into 2021? I know we're only a couple months into the year, but I know that you guys have been able to do a couple things so far to kick off, some normalcy.
Yeah, I think we're getting there real quickly. I think that, with all the events that we have throughout the year, I really only feel like the one that we just put behind us, which was the Employee Appreciation Luncheon, which again, we weren't able to have it in a restaurant or in a banquet facility. So we had to do something crazy. And instead we did a virtual bingo, which went over very, very well. And I think a lot of people had a very good time, won some great prizes. So, and I think now the rest of the year, I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to be able to do everything just as we have, not a whole lot of changes, I hope. Our next event's not until June. So I think we have some time, and we can move forward with putting a whole lot of this craziness behind us.
Well, let's go there. Your 2021 schedule of events, I know, is always pretty filled up with a lot of great activities that people can attend. Would you like to run down the rest of the year for everyone?
Sure thing. So we start off in June, and on June 21st, we have our annual golf outing, which is at the Connequanescent Country Club. It's a great day of just, getting together with a lot of great people, good food. I have to say there's some probably beverages on the course, and we're trying to get as close as we can to about 100 golfers onto the course. And we had some great sponsors, so it's all looking really good. From there, we go actually, again, not until September, and we have the Chef Wine and Ale event, which is September 13th, which has been around now for, I want to say, 14 years. This is probably going to be our 14th or 15th year of it. Always brings together a lot, like at least 300 people, 25 restaurants, pairings of wine. I think it's one of the best events we put on. And then the big one for downtown is September 25th is the Fall Fest and Car Cruise, which draws like 3,000 people onto Lawrence Avenue. And you mix that in with, I think last year there were over 800 classic cars on the street. So some vendors, lots of food purveyors. So it's a great, great day of just bringing the whole town together, which is good to see. And then from there, we get into the holidays, and we're going to be doing again the Ugly Sweater 5K, which is going to be held virtually, or we're actually going to have a race. And that's going to be between November 22nd and December 4th. Last year, we were able to draw probably, I think it was 60 some participants. I can only imagine that it's going to get much bigger this year, especially since you're going to actually be able to run live as well. And then we're planning on doing, we haven't really finalized how we're going to put it all together, but we want to keep the Reindeer Route, but we also want to do something with Let There Be Lights, which is the Friday night lighting of the Christmas tree, and just having all that happens on Lawrence Avenue again. And that's something that started in 2017. I think it's really not that old to the chamber, but again, it's a great event to bring the community itself, not just members, but the entire town of Elwood City into town and to just be able to have a great time and just be able to celebrate the holidays. And then
Oh,
finally, we end the year typically with an annual dinner, which is December 6th, and that's at Shakespeare's banquet facilities this year. And that's just really a matter of thanking our members, um, thanking the board, and kind of just flipping over till the new year. And then we have, of course, throughout it all, unfortunately, we canceled the Memorial Day parade, maybe a little bit too soon, but unfortunately we did. We are having, though, they're still going to throw the wreath over the bridge on the Fifth Avenue Bridge starting at 11 o'clock, and then they're going to go to Legion Park, raise the flag, and have a small ceremony. I think the chorale is talking about singing a couple songs there, and they're going to place the wreath at the monument. So it is something happening. And then we'll have the Halloween parade, and the Christmas parade's up in the air. I'm not sure if it's going to be the Reindeer Route or what we're going to do, how we're going to combine all that together. That's pretty much the year.
hey, that's a lot of events planned out here, and you know, it looks like your normal calendar is pretty much going to happen, which that's amazing. And I'm so glad to hear this, as I think everyone's ready to get back to where we once were.
Oh, definitely.
Dale, I'll put a little plug in here for you. I'm guessing sponsorships are still available for most, if not all, of these. And if so, how can people contact you to sponsor?
Absolutely. Just give me a call here at the Chamber, 724-758-5501, or you can surely email me at Dale Thompson. And have to remind everybody, my last name does not have a P in it. It's THOMSON at elwoodchamber.org, or you can get onto our website, which is www.elwoodchamber.org, and send me a message through the website as well.
Perfect. And of course, we'll have all that information in the show notes for when everyone's listening to this. But just wanted to get you a little kick in there so that we could remind people. All right. Well, you can't have a chamber without having members. We have a very talented person with us today, in Sean. And how have you and Dale and Sean collaborated to give members additional benefits to people that are members?
Well, I have to say, Sean has been a godsend to me. It's been a tough year. I mean, let's be honest, we came out of a really, really rough year. It's been a tough year for membership. There's a lot of smaller businesses that didn't make it. There's a lot of small businesses that will tell you they're paying their bills. So membership is really a challenge. So I think that with Sean coming on board and being able to give the chamber, I guess the best thing I can say is a branding. Is that a good word, Sean?
Absolutely. Branding and
Kind of
consistency. Yeah.
kind of branded us, which is a great thing. And he's really been able to increase our reach in social media and all. I mean, it's been a great marriage. Have no complaints at all. And I'll let Sean take over from there.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that, nobody had a crystal ball for last year. We couldn't figure out how to weave through a lot of these things. But one of the things that we really want to do was get back into consistent sort of social postings and information as much as we could for our members. And, really want to stress membership has its advantages. That's one of those, that's just one of those deals. It's cliche, but it's the truth. These are opportunities as you join a chamber. A lot of people say, I don't want to join a chamber because I don't need to. The thing is, it's about networking and referrals. And, the Elwood City Forge, Elwood City Specialty Steels, they don't need the chamber. However, that's a really nice way for them to participate and plug into the community. And because they have a lot of local employees and things like that, and it means something. And then for smaller businesses, to become a member, there's so many great opportunities to get involved on committees. A lot of people don't know that you don't have to be a board member to get involved. You can get involved in these committees, show the special skills that you bring, talents, abilities, things like that. It's a great place to network. And it's a great referral source. So, I mean, just for that, the money alone, I mean, a membership can be as low as, I think it's $125 as low as, which translates to a little over $10 a month. It is well worth every penny. And I'm a testament to that. I'm on the board, but I also have the really good fortune to have a lot of great clients in Elwood City. I grew up in the Elwood City area, but I haven't lived in Elwood City for 30 years. I'm there every single week working on projects and things like that. And what a great community. But Dale and I, honestly, Dale, we hadn't worked together before you got involved as a serving as the director. And I just know that the ideas all started coming together with these committees and through the board, and it's been a great working relationship. Dale can be the eyes and the ears, and then from I guess, a creative standpoint, conceptually putting social media posts and other, design materials, things like that together, working to help not only promote the chamber, but also do some really wonderful things for these local businesses that were able to hang tough over the last 12 months plus, but it's exciting. I think there are a lot of really great things to look forward to as we not only stabilize, but pick up this momentum through the rest of this year. This is absolutely a wonderful thing. It really is.
Sean, you work with a lot of businesses. 2020 was probably the toughest and roughest time that they've ever had to go through. Is giving them some kind of presence probably one of the top things that they need right now.
Yeah, I think that there's a couple different things. I think that when we get wrapped up in our own businesses, what is seemingly mundane and boring and routine to other people, it's pretty exciting. So when you can share a little peek behind the curtain, whether it's through photos or video, things like that, hosting little events, there's so many neat ways to showcase your business. And like I said, oftentimes we think this is really boring. To us, maybe it is, but to all these other eyeballs and ears, it's very exciting stuff. And it's a great opportunity to showcase some of the things that you're able to do. We as a chamber are able to help our members put out information. And the thing is too, we established social guidelines, social policies, things like that. And you have to, just to protect everybody involved. But the thing is, it's always members first. And we want to make sure that we're able to take some of their materials that they want to supply and post it, or marry it in with some of the other pieces that we're working on. It's a nice way to get out there, and you can be consistent, you can be timely. That's what we're here for. One of the reasons we're here.
Sean, what makes Elwood City stand out from other places in Western PA?
Okay, I'm going to steal another quote from The Wizard of Oz, right? There's no place like home. I think that when you live in a community and you're involved, it's easy to overlook all of these wonderful things that a community has. And it's not just the Elwood City downtown area, it's the surrounding communities and everything else. We've got parks and trails. We've got a lot of great boutique style places for retail. We've got great eateries, some of the best little restaurants in the area. So Elwood City is like this little diamond in the rough. It's on the Beaver County, Lawrence County line. It's Elwood City Island, but there are so many wonderful things about Elwood City from a historic standpoint, architectural standpoint, just memories and stories. And it's so funny, like on the social media page, on the Facebook page, in the past, there had been historic photos posted. So many people check in and say, man, I lived in Elwood City back in the day and I can't wait to get back there. It's amazing how proud people are of where they're from. And there's something to be said about that. And I really applaud these local business owners, these entrepreneurs that are able to grind it out and make it work. Good times, bad times, big businesses, small businesses. It's very exciting to see how all of this takes shape and continues.
And speaking of that, I know that you constantly make sure that the Facebook page and social media for the chamber is updated, if not hourly, daily. Are you looking for anything from the public, to help further what you're doing? Be it photos, images, classic, brand new, whatever it may be? Do you need content?
Content is always needed. Again, I'm going to stress chamber members is where we need to be. But anytime, so we can't be the eyes and ears every day, everywhere. So we're relying on other information. And I'm going to give you one example of there were a couple different postings. Dale, there was a recent scholarship awardees, these recipients of scholarships. It got so much local attention. I thought it was great. Two different, the neighboring school districts worked out really well. I thought that was great. I was heading through town. It was a beautiful day, and I'm heading to a client meeting, and I noticed on the corner in front of the police department, the Memorial Lion Fountain is back in operation. And here's the funny thing: for so long, there was a big tarp and all these tie downs like locking it down. We didn't want to get close to putting our lips near this thing, and for safety reasons and everything else. But all of a sudden, I saw this beautiful lion. I pulled my vehicle around the corner and jumped out, and there was a woman walking past, and she goes, "Isn't this great?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "In fact, it's going on social media today." And she said, "Perfect." And when you put something out there, you don't really know what the reaction is going to be sometimes. But it was all positive comments. And there was a lady who had also made a comment about when will the concerts come back? So I thought that's great. People were excited. They want to see these things happening. But the symbolism to me, that Memorial Lion Fountain looking so nice and open to the public, was just like, it was such a breath of fresh air.
It's amazing.
So to your point, we are looking for content.
No, not a problem. I didn't mean to step on you there, but I do think not only content wise, but you also brought up a great point here of downtown Elwood City. I think people don't realize, unless you live or work in the area, if you're not in downtown Elwood City, you wouldn't know. But a lot of businesses and signs of life are coming through Elwood City, opening their doors on Main Street or off Main Street. There's just a lot coming there, be it great restaurants, bakeries, there's a new golf simulator place going in. The place is ready to explode. And I just don't know if, it's a little hidden gem that people don't realize exists.
Dale, you want to comment on that?
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Seth. I mean, I think, and it just keeps getting better and better. I mean, I just found out that there was another purchase of another building from a gentleman who actually lives in Elwood City, and he's talking about putting, a bookstore in downtown, which is a great idea. But we have the, I don't know if anybody realizes it, but there's a restaurant, Ladybird's Luncheonette, and the young lady who owns it, Jade, she has been written up in Table Magazine, which is like, if you're in the business, that's like the top of the line. And I mean, there was a huge 4-page spread about how amazing she is. Chive, it's another great restaurant. We have Second Ward Sanctuary. There's Breaking Bread. There's just a lot of great things right on Lawrence Avenue. I mean, National Grind, the coffee shop, you can't beat it. It's everything that any Starbucks could ever give you. So I mean, I think you're right. There's a lot of other. I know I recently talked to the cigar shop, which is like a gem. And I don't know that people even realize it's there. And I was trying to get them to get involved with the golf outing and have a cigar bar, and got to speak to the owner, and he's so passionate about cigars, and it was awesome. We had like an hour and a half, 2-hour conversation. So, I mean, there's just a lot of people, and people in Elwood City love to talk to you about Elwood City. There's no, like Sean said, people from Elwood City are very proud of where they're from, and they love to talk to you about it.
And I think one of my favorite things to do is speak to an old executive director, Raymond Santillo. If there was anyone that could give you the passion and want to share everything there is about Elwood, it started with him. But you're right, Dale. I do get that sense that people who have lived, worked, or spent their life around the Elwood City community, they love it so much, and you have to experience it because there are great things there, and then the future looks so bright. If I was a business owner or looking to opening a new business, there are very few spots left in the Elwood City community, but it's just going to be a booming town for years to come.
And even the historical society is a great little building. It's full. And when you talked about Ray, I was just on a Zoom call last week with Ray and Bob Morabito from the Historical Society, and we were doing something with a group of people from Leadership Lawrence, which is a bunch of employees from different businesses in Lawrence County, and they were talking about we have a caboose in town now that's just been beautifully painted, and and they're pushing, all aboard Elwood is pushing so really hard to try to get a cultural district right here in Little Elwood City, which would be amazing in itself. So, and I listened to them speak to this group of people and was just amazed at the knowledge of history that they have. And both of them are raised in Elwood City. That's the key.
It's fantastic. And another place that I saw yesterday while driving through town, you have a new meadery. So there is just so much coming that I just hope that people get out, come and support these businesses, and any way that we can possibly help, especially the chamber is definitely the cheerleader for all these businesses and organizations in the town, that any way that you can get out and help these businesses, you will, and I trust that. But before we end, you have added an additional membership offerings, a little add-ons to your memberships. Do you guys want to talk about that before we end here? As I know that the two of you have really worked hard on getting that up and running in 2021.
Sean, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that we want to focus on forward, we've touched on it a couple times, is we want to be able to continue to promote you. And membership fees they're a nominal fee. For a few dollars more, I think annually you can get your logo across the as a feature member across the bottom of the there's a carousel, scrolling carousel on the website. But there are always other opportunities to plug in once you become a member. And again, stressing that point again about participation on committees. You don't need to be a board member to do this. And I know there are so many talented people out there. And I know it's hard for people to find the time to do these things, but man, it's so worthwhile. This is your way to showcase what you do, showcase your business, your skill sets. It's a great networking opportunity. That's just one of the things forward. And now that we're back into a social rhythm, we've got Dale coordinating a lot of pieces, and he's in and out of that office. He's in front of people. And I just think that there's so many things to look forward to moving forward. This is really the time to get on board. There are these new businesses popping up. This is wonderful.
And just to add on, I think that I don't think people realize that, it sounds so small, and not even talking about the featured membership on the website, just the fact of being a member and having your business, put on our website. I don't think people realize how many people go to the chamber website when they're looking for whatever, between the website and just, I can tell you, being in the office, the majority of calls that I get that come into the office is someone is doing an addition on their home or whatever, and they want to know, do I know anybody that does this? And I think that people go on to the website, they have a child that they want to enroll in a dance class, and so they're looking for a dance school. I mean, it's just small things, but I think when you start looking at how many hits that website gets, which is like over 1,400 a month, is crazy. And people are looking for the businesses that are out there. And I think that part of advertising, like when Sean said, if you're looking at $10 a month, I don't know that you can get advertising that reasonable anywhere else. I really don't.
You're a community resource that every community would kill to have, especially for those that they only have a county chamber. Elwood's thankful to have their own right there that makes up the community.
Can I add one thing? And
Sure.
it is related to all this. So I've been in marketing and branding for 30 plus years, and I look at some of the things that are going on in the Elwood City area. Super exciting, but one of the things that gets overlooked sometimes, Elwood City has its own radio station. That is so crazy to me. And that you can click on their website. It's WXED, and they have live streaming going on, but there's a lot of local support, behind this little radio station. But what a cool thing we actually had for the uh, during the holidays. There, Santa Claus read the letters, which was a really cool thing. How many towns can say they actually have a local radio station? It's pretty neat. Anyhow, I just thought it was important to add that.
No, and it is, and we love Ricky V. Who does the morning show over at WXED. He's actually has the right to claim the number one most downloaded episode for Armstrong and the Loop podcast, and it's over 150 downloads. So I think his fans very much so for making that episode popular. But everyone there is a volunteer. No one gets paid, and they do it because they love Elwood City and they just want to help get the information out to the community. And what more can you ask for? Because that's all, them doing it on their own personal time is just something that they love to do. Well, I'll ask this last question to the both of you, and it kind of goes along with that. But 2021 isn't a complete year, but this year can help them mold the chamber for where you want to see the future for the chamber. So, each of you can take your turn at this, but, where do you think the chamber will be in the next 3 to 5 years if all goes well?
Well, I think that as Sean and I especially keep moving forward together as to the benefits of the chamber, I think that you'll only see the membership develop and grow, which is great and which is what's needed. Because I think that, the one thing that's missing right now is we do need to do some networking events, some educational events. Like we just brought on a new member that does CPR training, and I'd love to see us do a class of something like that. Or there's retirement. I mean, there's so many things that you can do out there. So I think I just see it growing that way. And I guess the only other thing that I would like to see happen is I would love to see the community push, if we call it that, everyone into membership just by using the members in town. They all have, we just sent out all the window clings that are blue that say Elwood City Area Chamber of Commerce, member 2021. When you see that in the window, I would love for you to make sure you're buying from them. We need to keep pushing those businesses to the top of the list at all times.
And for you, Sean?
Well, I think that, to chime in with what Dale was saying in a little bit beyond that is, I think that two things. I think that we're seeing a lot of cooperation between different entities in Elwood City to enable these things to happen, these events and, just other things from the police department and fire department and the borough and the chamber. You've got these other entities as well, the revitalization groups. And I see them coming together even more so than they are now. I don't mean combining, but at least having the same mission, the same ideologies forward. And I think a lot of that will also attract other businesses to Elwood City. I think that there is availability to move into this area, into this region, large corporations, smaller businesses, medium sized. I think there's a lot of opportunity for that to happen. And when you see all the other pieces coming together in the community, there's stability. And I think that's important. I think that's going to, for the future, 3 to 5 years, as these groups continue to work together from an economic development standpoint, community resources, that's where I see it going.
And I agree, Sean. I think that we just had a primary, and I see there's some new blood that's coming into even government, if you want, that's really about bringing all of these groups. You see Elwood City Revitalization, economic development, community enrichment. They want to see all of us sit down at one table so that we're all moving forward with the same vision. Because I think there's a whole lot of groups that are, we're all asking for money, and we all have different visions. And I think it would be great if we can just get this big umbrella together and let us all move forward as one group for the new year and into the future. And I think you're going to see it happening. I really do.
Well, I've got good faith that I can count on the two of you for sure to see that mission through on the chamber end as well as the board of directors, for the Elwood City Chamber. Anything else the two of you would like to share with us today?
The only thing I want to say is, I'm here. I am here for anyone in the community, any member, non-member. If you're not a member and you come see me, I might try to talk you into becoming a member. But I'm still here, and I think the chamber is here to make whatever happen for the good of this small little bedroom community that has so much vibrancy to it that we want to keep it moving forward. So, I'm here. Come see me in the office. I'm here Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 3:30, usually later than that, but at least I'm here those hours, and I would love to see everybody.
I think from my perspective, Seth, again, being in marketing for so long, I realize that these platforms are so important, and you've reached out, to afford an opportunity for us to participate in this podcast. And this is just a really great medium and a great way to share a message. And I appreciate you taking the time and the resources to do this for us.
Well, I can't thank the two of you enough. As I want to see the chamber grow. I want to see the Elwood City community grow. It has so much to offer to the community, to the public. It doesn't even have to just be that little area. It can be, from the southern part of the state, from the northern part. I just want to see people come to Elwood City, and I know what small communities coming together, having passion really means. And I think Elwood City definitely harnesses that and is doing a job to bring back reasons why people should come to Elwood City. And it's great, and I can't envision a better place for it to happen. So thank the two of you for everything that you're doing, your leadership, your guidance, and hopefully we can get some more members on board and just bring some more life into Elwood City. We will have the links to the Elwood City Chamber website and social media pages in our notes, and we look forward to speaking with both of you in the near future. For Armstrong in the Loop podcast, I'm Seth Prentice, keeping you in the loop. Are you enjoying Armstrong in the Loop podcast? Great news! All past and current episodes are available on popular streaming apps and websites. Search Armstrong in the Loop podcast and subscribe today.